What is up, everybody? It is me above the zero, and today with me is
Dre High Man, and
well,
well,
it's all you, dog.
we're recording this now for our third or fourth attempt.
Maybe fifth. I don't know.
We absolutely love this content today, so we're really gonna do our best and make sure this is the one that works. But first, John's gonna explain exactly what the main focus of today's episode is gonna be, and then I'll throw everybody our new introductory segment that I will be running. So hit us with what's going on today, John.
Alright, so today we're actually going to be talking about two kind of important topics for here in esports. The first one is actually spectator experience, and the other one is competitive environment and like competitive integrity. That's what we'll be talking about today.
Alright. And now for my new part, it's our juicy little tidbit of the week. This is an article or discussion that wasn't quite big enough to have a major point in our episode, but I still felt like it's worth mentioning. And this time, it's week-old news that Blizzard announced their new system for qualifying for the Heroes of the Storm Championship, and the link to that page with all that information will be in the description for your reading pleasure.
Alright, so today I actually want to talk about the spectator experience and how we can improve it and what's holding it back a little bit.
Okay, so why don't you start out by explaining the current meta for esports broadcasts? Because they're pretty much all the same. You could probably just throw a stick in the air and you'll land on one that's perfectly fine to explain to us.
Alright, so I'm going to choose StarCraft because I've been watching a lot of it lately. So basically, in the beginning, you got the analysts talking about the players, the matchups, the maps, the current state of the game, and then it does their cool intro cinematics, and then it actually hops straight into the game, where you actually watch the game, the commentators commentate, and then you watch replays during the game. And then afterwards, you got the experts, or the analysts, or whatever you want to call them, and they break down the game more, they give you more stats, give you a little bit of information, maybe show you some replays of like the coolest parts, and then it brings you to a 5-minute dubstep screen where Twitch chat says Darude Sandstorm.
Darude.
I mean, it is very professional. It flows very nice, like it should. But
So you like the system?
well, it's not so much like the broadcast itself. It's like the medium that we're receiving it from.
So you like the actual broadcast and how it's run and the steps that they take, but you think that they could take more steps to improve the medium? So what you mean is, instead of watching it on a stream on Twitch, we should just talk about how we're not watching esports on TV in America right now, which is the same discussion we always have.
Well, not exactly. There are multiple ways that we can actually expand the viewer experience, just beyond like Twitch or like TV in Korea. The main example is actually in the Daily Dot article written by Sarah Mueller, and she writes about like the Microsoft augmented reality device where they were working on a League of Legends spectator experience, and well, that got shut down because of Riot, but anyways, you can read the article if you want. It gives you a lot of information, and I found it interesting enough that I want to talk about it. So the main concept is like bringing it into a new medium. The best example that I can give right now is actually Counter-Strike. So in Counter-Strike in the client, you can actually watch, like, for example, if it's a DreamHack or a major or even like a minor tournament, you can watch it in game, and then you choose which point of view you want to look at, but you're still hearing the commentators through the game. So you're still getting the same experience, but you have it's more personable. Like you can control your point of view and what you think is more important.
Okay, so from what I understand, in the Counter-Strike client, you can pick like a different perspective and spectate. Like, it's a first-person game, so I'd be looking from what you're seeing on your screen. But I think to take this like a step further, for like a game with League of Legends where it's not first-person, it would be cool for me to be able to hear like Quickshot and Crepo talking about what's going on in the Origin versus Unicorns of Love game, but I would also be able to like move my camera around and look at how SOAS CS is on Gangplank in the top lane, instead of watching this messy team fight bot where I'm just going to complain that Sven didn't position properly, or I could actually learn something if I'm a top lane player. Or I can watch what I want to watch, not what the person that they pay to spectate wants me to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it would require a developer like Riot or Valve or even an Activision or Blizzard to work with a company that's making an augmented reality device, or even just making a way to make the stream more interactive than just Twitch. What?
Twitch. Your new streaming website. Twitch.
So, so I mean, like, even League of Legends, they have their NALL Esports, where you can go on there, you can watch like the Twitch, YouTube, whatever stream, and it will give you the stats like throughout the game. What I'm more thinking of though is like, you can, let's say I got the augmented reality device that Microsoft working on, and you can actually like watch it with your buddies. Now this is a hypothetical. This is what I would do with it, but now I would
Not
have
excited.
me and like 3 of my friends sitting on TeamSpeak, right? And I've got my augmented reality headset on. We got all of them on, and we're all sitting on a couch right in front of like a TV monitor, right?
Wait. A TV monitor. So you're going to use augmented reality to watch an esport on TV.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can set it up so you're
Well,
in the
folks,
living room.
It comes full circle, and it turns out John just wants esports on TV.
So like
That's what it is.
You could like watch it with your buddies and like in the thing, or you can actually have like a top down view of the map or third person perspective,
Yeah.
and you actually control where the camera's going, like the little camera spotlight.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
That's the more reasonable one, but I personally would want to sit on the couch with my buddies that like live all the way across the United States.
It doesn't make an
And-
actual couch for you to sit on. It's not the holodeck, John. This isn't Star
Yeah, but
Wars
like you
Trek.
can sit there and I look to the right and I see your model, and
don't-
like
okay.
your keyboard is actually synced up
Alright,
with the keyboard, and you
alright.
can actually
We
like
need to move
look at
on.
the monitor and like the grounds,
cutting
like
you
the map.
off.
That would be fucking sick.
need to move
Anyways,
on.
we're gonna move on to the next point. It would be sick. Don't lie to me.
This isn't Star Trek.
Let's go.
Alright, squad. So my pick today comes from an article from GamesIndustry.biz by Brendan Sinclair, and it's regarding Capcom and their intentions with the release of Street Fighter V, which, based on how many attempts it's taken us to make this video, may already have been released by the time we actually get around to uploading it.
Alright, so tell me what it's about, man.
Well, this article does a really fantastic job of explaining exactly what they're trying to do with Street Fighter V, and it really explains the thinking behind each of their decisions. So, the main point of the article is to explain that Capcom wants Street Fighter V to be a competitive game, and not just like a game that you play at tournaments, like the perfect online competitive experience where there's no lag, no bugs, no nothing. Where you can play online and your ranking online actually means something. So that's a huge like move up for them and for esports in general. Because usually when you see a professional esport, it has to be LAN. Like you can't do it online because there's too much lag. But the article does a really good job of explaining how they're trying to achieve that flawless competitive environment. So I want to talk a little bit about why and let you read the article to find out how.
Alright, so for why, I mean, in my opinion, it's like the competitive versus casual gaming discussion that we've always had. The way that you make a successful esports game, which we have seen time and time again, is you make a well-developed game that is interesting. It needs to be no lag, no input lag, nothing. It just needs to be a well-developed game that will bring players in, and like it needs to also be entertaining. And I mean, besides for that, you just let it go from there. You let it grow. You can't really like control it. I mean, if people don't enjoy it, they're not gonna dedicate their lives to being it. They're not gonna want to be pros. But
That's fair enough. And
that's my opinion.
I agree with most of what you say, except for the part where the game has to be able to bring casual players in. Because a game, like, alright, if I'm creating a game, and it's going to be an esport, and that's my plan for it, I need to develop, if I'm coming out of nowhere, I need to develop a casual fan base, because I need exposure for my game. But a series like Street Fighter, which was one of the first competitive fighting games, if not the first competitive fighting game, it really doesn't have that much of a casual following. I mean, if you look at Street Fighter, it's not like Smash Bros, where you get together with your friends on the weekend and you play for a few hours and drink. No, people that play Street Fighter go hard on Street Fighter. Like, they're not casual. There's no I would say there's no casual fan base for Street Fighter. So when you're trying, I think that's the reason Capcom chose to make their game flawlessly competitive, or at least take the steps to do so, because they don't have to tend to that casual audience. They don't have to balance their game around people who don't know what they're doing having fun. They can balance their game around people who are going to push it to the limit competitively, so that the game doesn't break down on them and just like lag and become buggy.
I mean, I agree with you. And besides for that, bring us out, man.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really done with the discussion. I mean, you don't have any counterpoint at all? You're just gonna agree with me like that?
I mean, all of that was valid points, so...
Alright, well, I guess I win this one, because I guess...
Yeah, but it wasn't really like a discussion, though, like, you know...
I mean, we could have had a little debate if I didn't just win right quick in the first
yeah,
round.
but, like,
you
you
just
didn't
Mike
win.
Tyson your ass.
You didn't, like,
saying.
Mike Tyson my ear's still fucking here, dog.
What'd you say? I'm not gonna bite your ear off. Listen, everybody always remembers the bad image of Mike Tyson. What I remember is Punch Out on the NES. Fucking Mike Tyson. That's
alright, well, I'm like the Bruce Lee in this discussion, so let's be honest.
Get out of here. Anyway, thank you very much for watching our episode of Esports Upload from last week that we never got to record because it failed multiple times and our files kept on messing up. If you have any comments at all regarding the spectator experience or the casual versus competitive gaming Street Fighter V discussion that I brought
I
up.
feel like you're forgetting Heroes of the Storm, dog.
Oh yeah, and the Heroes of the Storm championship
Don't worry, I'm here for
qualifiers.
it. It's alright.
Yeah, I almost forgot. All those links will be in the description. I highly suggest that you read the article from Games Industry, because it's really in depth article, and it explains a lot about how they want Street Fighter V to work. Any closing remarks?
Nah, good shit, man. Fifth time.
Fucking has closing remarks. It might even be the 6th time. I've lost count.
Say it.
Later.